This is the Mediterranean garden. This was just a hole. It had mattresses, weeds, coyotes, and debris. And we developed a garden plan. It's about 3,500 square feet, and we're calling it the Mediterranean garden because of the white boulders that we got donated. They're travertine from New Mexico in Los Lunas. It has the most drought-tolerant plants of the whole garden, and this is probably the hottest area of the garden. It's the western end of the garden, and the Kentucky coffee tree is just now taking off. It got a limb broken out at the top because of a windstorm, but it's really coming back, and it's kind of rangy when they're young. But again, we're hoping that it does real well. We're backed up to this Veterans Memorial Park on the west side of it, so it'll get a little extra water harvesting benefit. And these are all young. This garden was developed in 2007. We planted cotoneaster. It's a great cover plant for covering a slope and holding a slope. They can get 6 to 8 feet wide and 6 to 8 to 10 feet long down a slope, and they stay about this size, so there's no pruning, maintenance, just let them grow. And they've got really pretty red berries in the winter, and it's evergreen most of the time unless it's a really cold winter and it'll lose its leaves. And this is another hackberry. They're very easy to get now in most nurseries. I would recommend this tree for homeowners. It'll take care of itself and there's no pests. It's right up there with the Chinese pistache. And what we've done in this garden is a lot of water comes through here when it rains. So we built 2 catchments. They're 16 feet by 8 feet and 4 feet deep. And then they're lined with a ground cover and the river rock put in there to stabilize it. And we put a little culvert between them so that the water can run from one to the other, because the water runs then back around the garden to the east and south. And the plant in front of us is a butterfly bush. This is one of my favorite butterfly bushes. This is a weeping butterfly or fountain butterfly bush. It kind of mimics a lilac bush. It gets purple, little purple. You can see they're gone, but they're about that size, little purple flower heads in the spring. And it only blooms once, and then it leaves out, and it's just green and rambly the rest of the year. And it's very drought tolerant and heat tolerant. Even up on this slope, we planted a Chinese pistache, and this is probably one of the driest places because there's just no place for him to get water except what we give it. And he's doing pretty well considering this is really a dry slope on this west side of this garden. And the rest of it, we put Caryopteris over here to see what they would do. These are Caryopteris, the blue mist spirea, and you can see they're not as big as they were back in the upland forest garden. They don't get as much water, but they're still doing very well in blooming. These are chamisa, and these weren't naturally here, and we've just, we keep them pruned. If we need to pull one out every once in a while, we do. But basically, we just let them kind of be our hedge because we've got a shopping area behind us, and we can use these as a screen, and we also use the silverberry, which I'll show you over here. And these are silverberry bushes. They're very tough. They have a tough leaf. We thought they would make a nice screen because they would get tall and screen this shopping center behind us. And then we're kind of at the back of the garden. I do want to show the hawthorn trees. And they're back here taking the heat. And these are multi-branched hawthorns. Thorny, the birds love them, but they've got huge thorns on them. So I didn't want to put them out where a child would walk into them because you can see that thorn is pretty dangerous looking.